Oh, hey, Zelda here. I'm just trying to fight off all these clones. They've been trying to copy me for years, and it's really starting to piss me off.
Who are you calling clone Peter Pan?
Hey, wait, where are you going?
Listen, I know you think all Zelda clones are bad, but have you actually looked into them?
Well, no, but...
Isn't it flattering that other games want to use your format because it's so good?
Oh, I guess maybe you're right.
Of course I'm right, fairy boy. Now why don't you sit back, relax, watch this pre-recorded video on Darksiders. This contains spoilers, by the way.
Darksiders is a hack-and-slash adventure game that was released back in January of 2010, and it takes place in a post-apocalyptic Earth. Now, keep in mind, we're talking about Darksiders Warmastered Edition, which was released in November of 2016. Our story starts off with explaining that angels and demons have been fighting forever. The Charred Council, an entity that is supposed to keep balance, created the Seven Seals in order to form a truce between the two, and to give time for the third race to be created called humans, who could then evolve and get ready to fight as well. One day the Seven Seals would be broken and the three kingdoms would fight for the fate of the universe. There were also 4 horsemen who were tasked with bringing balance to the universe, but only when called upon by the council. The demons and angels would then fall toward the earth while the humans are minding their own business and start fighting again, destroying everything in their path. Within one of these meteors was our main hero named War, one of the 4 horsemen. War has come to punish the wicked and restore balance. He runs into the angels' leader Abaddon, who couldn't believe that he was there. As Abaddon was distracted, a huge demon named Straga appears and crushes him. War then gets blamed for his death and starts fighting Straga, but his energy is depleted quickly, and Straga picks him up and crushes him. Aw, did somebody make an oopsie?
Just keep watching.
War then kneels before the council and gets punished. They claim that he has tipped the balance by assisting the forces of hell. He wasn't supposed to come because the 7 seals had not yet been broken. War then replies that he heard a call, but apparently there was none. War asks to be sent back so he can find those responsible and punish them. The council agrees but binds the Watcher to him. It's Mark Hamill.
I love Star Wars. Did you ever see the Christmas special?
Listen, this is just the story. When are we going to get to the part where you copied me?
Shut up, fish lover. The story's really good.
War goes back to Earth, but a century later. The Earth is in ruins and humanity is extinct. Now it is up to War to find out what is going on and to start hacking and slashing. He runs into a demon named Vulgrim, who is the merchant of this game. You collect souls, which is your currency that allows you to buy power-ups and weapons from Vulgrim. His locations are also waypoints for you to fast travel to throughout the game. This game starts off as a typical hack and slash where you rip and tear your way through enemies with pretty basic moves. But as you continue to progress, you can purchase better combos from Vulgrim that turn you into a button-mashing badass. At first, it took me a bit to get into this game. Starting off pretty basic got repetitive very quickly, not to mention that the story was really confusing and hard to understand at first, but as you continue to progress, it gets exponentially better. The tutorial parts were pretty slow in the beginning, but I suppose they are necessary to teach you how to play the game. You get better moves that make fighting super satisfying, from super uppercuts with your sword to throwing this big purple scythe. Plus, you can build up your demon bar that allows you to turn into a Balrog from Lord of the Rings. While in combat, after you do enough damage to an enemy, the B button will show up, allowing you to perform a super sick execution.
God, I'm so cool.
I do super cool executions too, you know. The controls aren't bad, but you can tell that this is an older game. Aside from doing button combos, you also have Z targeting, which also adds the cinematic black bars. Just like Zelda.
What? It's a good game mechanic.
You can also buy power-ups that uses your Wraith energies, such as this one that unleashes a bunch of spikes from the ground, or one that turns your skin into stone, decreasing damage done to you and increasing damage you do to enemies, or one that lights you on fire and allows you to burn enemies, or the same thing, but you plague enemies. There are a lot of sections in this game that have kill walls, which is where you slay a bunch of enemies to progress forward. They feel really repetitive and time-wasting, honestly. I mean, I don't mind kill walls if executed properly, but this game uses them a lot, and I think they're an old game mechanic. Though I'm not going to hold it against this game since it is 10 years old. As far as the game running properly, I didn't have too many issues. Although it did bug out once, where my character was just floating high up in the sky off the map. Yeah, I'm guilty of having games bug out too. The visuals in this game aren't bad either. Some scenes are really pleasing to the eye, while others kind of fall flat. The sound design in this game for the most part is on par, but there are some cutscenes where some moments feel empty and soundless, which doesn't do a good job of submerging you into the world. You eventually find another demon named Samael, who tells you that the Destroyer's tower is guarded by 4 beasts that you have to kill and bring back their hearts to him. Then, he will get War to the tower. So this in turn becomes the dungeons that you have to traverse. You eventually make it to your first dungeon, a cathedral where Tiamat, a giant bat, lives. Now the dungeons in this game are actually pretty fun. Like Zelda, you go around progressing from room to room, solving puzzles and finding keys. In this case, it is more like blue daggers that allow you to get past locked doors by stabbing an eyeball. You can also find maps and a compass-like thing which shows you where all the unopened treasure chests are throughout the dungeon. Just like Zelda. The puzzles in this game are usually pretty self-explanatory, however, the puzzles that I did get stuck on were pretty easily solved. All I had to do was look around at the environment, and to not forget about the items I had on hand in my inventory. Which brings me to my next point. You collect items throughout this game that assist you on your epic quest. Items like a shuriken boomerang, mine. Energy gauntlets, mine. A grappling hook, also mine. A mask. I had a whole game dedicated to that one. A horse, really?
You cannot claim horses as a game mechanic.
A horn, a really big gun, and a massive sword to help you slay demons and angels. Not to mention, you get a portal gauntlet. Yes, you heard me, a portal gauntlet. This is one of the coolest and hardest game mechanics to master, especially when it came to puzzle solving. It works just like you think it would. You shoot one portal in a spot and then another portal in another spot, and you can jump through these portals to get to different locations. The portals work on momentum. For example, if you charge it up before you shoot, once you jump through it, it will allow you to travel farther or higher, depending on where you have placed the second portal. You can only place portals on these orange-yellowish circles, which isn't all that big of a deal, but what you can do with the portals is really cool. You can send items through the portal, like bombs, for example, that you can pick up throughout the world. You can also portal water. Yes, there is a puzzle you have to solve by portaling water. Not to mention, you can shoot a portal through another portal if you have 2 placed already. It is a really cool game mechanic that shakes it up and makes puzzle solving more challenging. Dang, that is really cool.
You're goddamn right.
Now, there have been a lot of things throughout this game that scream Zelda, but none were more obvious than this moment, where, I kid you not, you fight Dark Link, or in this case, Dark War. Yup. Damn you. Now, all of that being said, this is still a really fun game. When playing, I could tell it was older, but that doesn't mean I enjoyed it any less. The gameplay is quite enjoyable, from puzzle solving to shredding up enemies with all of your awesome equipment. The boss battles were fun too, most of them requiring you to use the special item you received from the dungeon. Like Zelda, but that's not a bad thing. You also collect gemstones, which increases your health. Like Zelda. Yeah, this game may feel like Zelda in a lot of ways, but the story it tells is pretty different, and it is actually really, really good. I will admit I had no idea what was going on for most of it, but as the pieces start coming together, it made it all worth it. The angel guy that dies in the beginning, it turns out he was destroying the 7 seals and having a blacksmith make fakes so nobody suspected anything. He wanted to get a one-up on the demons, but War was summoned and Abaddon freaked out because he knew that there was still 1 seal remaining. Turns out War was summoned by the council to bring balance again, but only he was summoned, not the other 3 horsemen. Not all 7 seals were broken, and that is why they blamed him for the mess, saying it was his fault. After War finds this out, he is pretty pissed and wants nothing to do with them, but since the Watcher is bound to him, he is forced to go find Abaddon, who has become a ruler in Hell, and kill him. War kills Abaddon, but then the Watcher tells him his mission was a suicide mission from the beginning. The angel chick that you have run-ins with throughout the entire game stabs you in the back, killing War. The Watcher takes the 7th seal, but the angel lady smashes it with her sword, summoning War back to life and the other 3 horsemen. War squeezes Mark Hamill's head until it pops and basically says, "I'm going to take on the universe because fuck everyone." What an ending. Yeah, I know I spoiled the story, but this game is still worth playing. I had such a fun time playing it and I would recommend it to anybody. Dang, that's rough, buddy. So what happens next?
See, I knew you'd like it. Not all Zelda clones are bad, but you're gonna have to play the next game to find out. Don't ever that on me again.
Did somebody say Zelda clones?